Welcome to Deep Thought. Getting used to order. You know what? And this is one of the few times I'm going to get really personal. This is more about me, but I'm sharing this because it can be a lesson. I spent the early part of my life in chaos. I spent the early part of my life in chaos. You know, my mother, she was mentally ill. My sister, who at the time we thought she was mentally retarded, but we didn't at the time, that time in history, we didn't have the same knowledge about the autism spectrum and stuff. And she was really just on the spectrum. In fact, I remember it was in the 90s, late 90s, and she was nearly 40 when I had her tested by a psychologist, and he said on some things he had a higher IQ than him. But we didn't know. But even then, you know, just at the time, it was a little bit of chaos. So I had to grow up early. And, you know, it was just a situation, early lifetime, and then even later years, I always seemed to have drama. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. There would be sometimes things happening. You know that tune from Mr. Raiders of the Lost Ark? Dun, 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 dun. Seriously, it's just adventure. It's always something. It was always something. It was always some level of chaos. I mean, it shaped my personality that I would learn how to stay calm in a storm and always search for a way of order. You know, it was always something to that. But I'm going to tell you what, though, I got used to it. Because I was thinking about that this morning, the morning I'm recording this podcast. I was like, you know what? I was gotten so used to that chaos that sometimes my mind will look for something chaotic. It really would. I was thinking about that. I was like, well, wait a minute. My finances have never been better in life. It's peaceful all the way around, order all the way around. And I love the order. Let me be clear about that. But there's still a part in my spirit that has gotten so used to some type of chaos that I be like almost looking for it, you know? Almost looking for it. Almost like if I'm sitting around, it's too quiet, it's boring for me and everything. And I was like, okay, I got to work on it. That's my thing to work on. As I continuously say, I'm not a guru on top of the mountain. I'm climbing with y'all. We might have different issues, but I'm climbing too. And that's one of the things is my body, my spirit has to get used to just some calm. Seriously, it's always something. And I was like, okay, and it's gotten better. It's gotten way better. It's gotten way better, way more peaceful and everything. Indeed, wanted that peace. But then I'm like, okay, I don't know, it's tough. You know, it makes me think about that famous statement from, The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises when Bane was fighting Batman. And Bane said, peace has cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you. It's just been too quiet, you know. But I kind of want it because I'm getting older. I'm like, man, I need some peace and stuff, you know. Yeah, indeed, that's why I don't get involved with drama on YouTube. Or even, y'all knows I don't even talk about controversial things happening in the real world. Too controversial, because I'm like, look, I'm going to focus on self-development because I got enough stuff going on in my life. I'm going to tell you what, I ain't got so used to that chaos and stuff. I remember, no joke, and this is when I was still living with my grandmother. I actually got in my car. I said, I got to go find an adventure. I literally got in my car. I was driving along, and ironically, I found this there was an accident. The young lady I went to the prom with had gotten in a car accident. I was like, oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. You know, I was able to help her out and everything. But that was the thing, you know? But, you know, it's slowed down now, though. Thankfully, it slowed down, though. You know, I don't think I was ever meant to live a normal life. But I got to get used to it, though. I gotta get used to it. I mean, seriously, because I'm just like, man, everything going well. I'll be waiting for the stuff, I'll be waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was like, hold up, I can't go through life like that. But that's my demon I have to fight. And like I said, I don't mind sharing. I have no shame in sharing it because I want to help others. You might have something similar, or you might have a demon that you're fighting. And it's tough because your body gets used to it. Your body gets used to it. My very being has gotten used to it. Because I say, you know what, I gotta get used to peace. I gotta get used to it. I definitely have to still work to keep the peace, but I got to get used to it. And one of the things I had to do that for is because subconsciously I don't want to mess up the order. Seriously, like I said, I'm not a guru, and I'm still human. I'm still, I still got some issues, major issues I got to work on. Not as bad as like last year or the year before. It gets better every day, but they still there. I don't want to get to that point. I really don't want to get to that point where I'm sabotaging something because there's a part of my spirit that's used to a certain way. I don't want to self-sabotage. See, that's the thing. A lot of times when people's spirit get used to a certain way of things, they sabotage themselves. It's like someone who gets used to being poor. That's actually a great practical example. Someone gets used to being poor. They learn to live with it. Their whole behavioral system's around it. That's why you will have there's many stories of people who have won the lottery, won millions of dollars, and then they broke within a year. Or people who've gotten a lump sum of money. That's because their consciousness is still stuck in a certain way. My consciousness, I'm working on it. I'm working on that need to bring order to chaos consciousness, or at least focus it better. Because there's still plenty of chaos out there that needs order brought to it. But it's very important for myself and others who's fighting some type of consciousness or demon to get used to the best thing. Get used to things going well. Get your consciousness used to it. Because when your consciousness ain't used to it, that can be a problem. Like, let me end with because people know me for talking about relationships. I got 2 channels talking about relationships. That's why you will get a man or a woman who are used to dealing with drama in relationships, used to dealing with fussing and fighting, used to dealing with infidelity, used to dealing with abuse. That's why they can meet a good person who brings none of that, and the relationship don't last. They will go right back to someone who was abusing them, to someone who was cheating on them, to someone who's just bringing disorder because they're used to it. So think about it like that. Think about it. So, and like I said, I talked about the particular reason, a particular demon I'm fighting. Seriously, think about the demons that you're fighting. What do you keep going back to even though it's not good for your spirit? Fight it, okay? So anyway, that's all I have for today. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.